It's Friday, November the 18th. We've had a change of season. We've rolled the clocks back to standard time. It's a far cry from where we were when the season began back at the end of August. But it's playoff time, and that's always great for football and barbecue. Hi, I'm Jeff McCoy. Welcome to Texas Passions. Tonight I'm in San Marcos. I'm at Bobcat Stadium on the campus of Texas State University. Tonight the Lake Travis Cavaliers will play the Smithson Valley Rangers in second round playoff action. I saw Hank Carter's Lake Travis team the second week of the season. They were coming off a first game loss, and it took double overtime for them to beat Cibolo Steel. Since then they've won 9 more games. They come in with a record of 10-1. They're currently ranked number 5 in 6A football in Texas. Larry Hill has been the coach of Smithson Valley for 20 years now. This past summer, he was inducted into the Texas High School Coaches Association Hall of Honor. He brings in a team that's 8-2. They're on a 7-game winning streak. Lake Travis knocked off San Antonio Madison last week 56-7 to advance to tonight's game. Smithson Valley knocked off San Antonio Warren 53-7 to qualify for tonight's game. There's been a cold front that's come through Texas. It's dry, but there's a strong wind out of the north and the temperatures are falling. We'll see what kind of an impact that has on tonight's game. These two teams are hoping to make it to Jerry's World. They've got 1 game in the books already. They need 4 more to qualify for that state championship game. It should be a good one. The teams are in the locker rooms getting their game faces on. I stopped off and got some barbecue earlier tonight to get my game face on. Let me tell you about it.
Traffic was terrible even for Austin on a Friday evening, so it was well after dark when I got to San Marcos. San Marcos BBQ is located at 2601 Hunter Road. They do not have a big sign out front, so I missed them the first time I drove past. If I had the windows of the minivan open, maybe I could have found them from the smell of barbecue cooking. Unfortunately for me, they were out of pork ribs by the time I got there. I was able to order some moist brisket and sausage. The brisket had a nice dark bark and a good smoke ring cooked into the meat. It was juicy and full of smoky flavor, but my slices were a bit stringy, the result of being cut with the grain instead of against it. The sausage had a nice snap to it and was not greasy. It was full of spicy flavor and not a lot of fillers. They offered a sweet and a spicy sauce. Both were flavorful and both were good complements to the meat. San Marcos BBQ is a typical Texas barbecue joint. Nothing fancy, no pretense, just good food. The guys and girls working there on a Friday evening were friendly and nice to talk with. It's a nice place to gather with friends and family. I'll need to stop by when the sun is shining so I can sample their pork ribs sometimes.
This barbecue is good. I'll give it a single hook'em. With a cold front having moved through Texas earlier in the day, it was 57 degrees at game time. Smithson Valley received the opening kickoff and headed into the wind. They went 3 and out and were forced to punt. A short kick into the wind gave the ball to Lake Travis on the Rangers' 35. On the first play, quarterback Charlie Brewer found Cade Green open on a deep slant, good to the Rangers' 5. Malik Barkley carried the ball wide right for a touchdown. The extra point was no good, leaving the score at 6-0. The Rangers could not sustain a drive and were forced to punt. Passes by Brewer and runs by Barkley moved the ball into the Rangers' red zone. Smithson Valley had a chance to end the drive, but dropped a sure interception. Brewer scrambled up the middle and was tackled on the 5. Brewer found Green in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. The extra point made it 13-0. The Rangers returned the kickoff to their 19. Quarterback Josh Adkins threw to Josh Dillon over the middle for big yardage past midfield. But Dillon was stripped of the ball and Lake Travis recovered. In the second quarter, the Cavs drove downfield again. They settled for a 22-yard field goal to extend their lead to 16-0. Late in the second quarter, Brewer was sacked on third down and the Cavs had to punt into the wind. Adkins passed to Trevon Morig-Woodard on the left sideline. He broke a tackle, got a good downfield block from Davis Grochette, and scored from 60 yards out. The extra point made the score 16-7 with a minute 20 before halftime. Lake Travis took possession on their 28. Brewer's pass in the flat to Garrett Brochette was almost intercepted, but Brochette picked up first down yardage. Brewer threw deep to Cade Green, who drug a defender into the end zone for a 46-yard touchdown. The Cavs went to halftime leading 23-7. The third quarter opened with Lake Travis going 3 and out and punting into the wind. From the Cavs' 41, Adkins threw a wide receiver screen to Levi Williams to get the drive started. On 4th and 2, Adkins ran up the middle for 3 yards for a first down on the 19. 2 plays later, Adkins handed the ball to Woodard on a sweep to the right. He pulled up short and threw a halfback pass to Williams in the end zone. The Rangers went for 2, but Woodard was dropped for a loss. With 7:09 left in the third, the Cavs led 23-13. The Cavs mounted a long drive, using runs by Barkley to pick up yardage and burn up clock. Barkley scored, but Lake Travis was called for holding. They settled for a 28-yard field goal to extend their lead to 26-13. The Cavs were content to trade punts with Smithson Valley as the game moved into the fourth quarter. They kept the ball on the ground to move the change and wind the clock. Malik Barkley scored again to push the score to 33-13 with just 6:15 to play. The Rangers mounted one last drive. Adkins threw to Josh Dillon for a 46-yard gain to the Cavs' 39, then threw to Edwin Martinez for first and goal on the 1. Adkins scored, then threw a pop pass for a 2-point conversion to make it 33-21. With only 2:37 left to play, the Rangers' only hope was an onside kick. Lake Travis fell on the ball on their 48. After being tackled for a 2-yard loss, Barkley burst through a hole in the middle of the line and romped 54 yards for a touchdown. The Rangers could not pick up the bouncing kickoff, and the Cavs recovered on the 6-yard line. They ran out the clock to win 40-21. Congratulations to Smithson Valley for their fine season. They played hard, but fell behind early and could never make up the lost ground. They had no answer for Malik Barkley, who gained 189 yards on 20 carries and scored 3 times. Lake Travis moves into the Sweet 16, where they will face the Los Fresnos Falcons next week. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.